Hey guys, so today we're going to review how to write the chemical formula for an ionic compound. So we're going to go through these examples here. So let's start with potassium sulfide. The first thing I'm going to do is write the symbols for each of these, starting with the cation first. So whatever has the positive charge is written first. Potassium has the positive charge, so I'm going to write its symbol down, followed by sulfur. Now, when you're figuring out the subscripts, it's important to pay attention to what's happening with the electrons. So potassium has 1 valence electron, and sulfur has 6. So in order for both of these elements to fulfill the octet rule, the subscripts are going to tell us the ratio of each that we need. So if potassium were to get rid of this 1 electron, it fulfills its octet rule, but sulfur is left with only 7 electrons. So what this means is you need a second potassium to finish the deal. So an easy way to figure this ratio out is to look at the charges. Potassium has a +1 charge, sulfur has a -2 charge. So if I just crisscross these over, it gives me the final answer, which is K2S. So for every 2 potassium, I need 1 sulfur. Okay, let's look at the next one, magnesium oxide. Same thing, find the symbols, look up the charges. Magnesium has a charge of +2, oxygen -2. So again, I can just crisscross, but this is kind of a special case. Because they both have a charge of 2, that's the same as having a 1-to-1 ratio. So instead of writing it like this, I can simplify those out and just go MgO, and that's the correct answer. Iron 3 chloride. Whenever you have a bracket like this with Roman numerals, that tells you you have a multivalent atom. So iron can either be a charge of +2 or of +3. And that 3 in Roman numerals tells us to use the +3. Other than that, everything else is the same. Find the charges and crisscross. So FeCl3. Sodium phosphate. Sodium has a charge of +1, and phosphate is a polyatomic ion. So when I look up phosphate, it's PO4 with a -3 charge. So I still crisscross them as I would anything else, and what I end up with is Na3PO4. Let's do one more example with a polyatomic ion. So I have magnesium, which has a charge of +2, and I have chlorate, which is ClO3 with a -1. Now this time when I'm crisscrossing, I have to pay special attention. Now this 2 is crossed down from magnesium, but I can't write it like this. This tells me that I have 32 oxygen. So what I need to do is add parentheses. This now tells me that I have 2 chlorates, whereas before I had 32 oxygen. So just be careful when you're crisscrossing with polyatomic ions. Hope that helps.